Alright everyone, I've been away for a while and I'm sorry for that, but what better time to come back than for the Season 5 trailer of Game of Thrones. I'm going to do a breakdown for you guys of what I think is happening, what probably is happening, and how it changed from the book or how it might affect the story going forward. Just a warning, there's going to be major spoilers, so be prepared for that, and if you don't want to listen to it, now's a good time to leave. Alright, let's go ahead and get started with this first scene between Jaime and Cersei. And a dead Tywin, so if you didn't already know that, there's your first spoiler. I'm just going to go over the major scenes, but this one's pretty self-explanatory. We shall be expecting it from last season. We all know Tywin died, but I like the little symbolism of Cersei walking away from Jaime, showing that they're going to be a more rocky relationship than what we already saw. Next up, these guys are the Sons of the Harpy. They're going to be a little rebel group inside Meereen that's going to be causing problems for Dany. Basically, not everyone is happy about losing their slaves, and these guys definitely want them back. So they're going to be killing Unsullied where they can find them, and just generally causing mayhem for Dany. And on a side note, I love these masks. It wasn't what I was expecting, but it's very beautiful, very kind of, secret society to them. I like it. Alright, so next up we have Littlefinger and Sansa, and to me this is one of the most interesting scenes in the whole trailer. Just because Sansa's so caught up to where she is in the books that pretty much anytime we see her it's going to be new material. So where we left her, this could be her aunt's funeral, but the question is, what is going on in this scene? Why is she crying? Littlefinger's talking about justice. There's been rumors of her taking on aspects of Lady Stoneheart, so maybe she's executing people. Maybe someone just got done begging her for her life and she's not taking kindly to it, and Littlefinger is kind of telling her to man up here. Maybe, he's marrying her off to a Lord of the Vale to take back Winterfell. That's where she left off in A Dance with Dragons. We don't really know where the show is going to go or if her story is going to stay the same. So what is going on in this scene? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. I'm curious about it myself. Next up we have Dorne, and here we can see Jaime and Bronn being confronted by a random Dornishman. Now this will be interesting because this is not what happens in the books. In the books, Bronn is pretty much done, and Jaime actually goes to the Riverlands to end the War of the Five Kings by breaking the siege of Riverrun. His arc in the books was one of my favorites, so I'm very curious to see what they do with Jaime here and what direction they're going with this new change. We'll also see some new characters here in Dorne, like the Sand Snakes, which are Oberyn Martell's bastard daughters, and Arya Hoto. Not sure if I'm saying that right, but whatever. Interesting side note to his character, he's actually married to that awesome looking axe. We'll also see new characters like Dorien Martell, who spends all his time here in the Water Gardens. That's because he suffers from gout. I don't know if he will in the show or not, but he kind of has to relax a lot, take it easy, and not give the impression that he's weak like FDR and polio. We'll also see Dorne a lot this season. Now, as you can see here, this might be a threat to Cersei, something with a red viper. I'm kind of curious to see what that means. It might even be a theory of mine for another video in the future. You guys will just have to wait and see. Now, onto the wall. Now, I've heard some people say that this is Eastwatch, but it looks like Hardhome to me. Now, Hardhome is a place beyond the wall that's the closest thing to a town or city that the wildlings have. After the battle at the wall, a lot of wildlings fled, and Hardhome is one of the places that they ended up. Now, the White Walkers are still out there, so the wildlings are pretty desperate to get away from them. And as you can see in these screens, it's probably what they're fighting about, since neither the Watch nor Stannis have the ships to transport a ton of people away at one time, so some of them just have to stay. I'm also hopeful we'll see some dead things in the water that was hinted at in A Dance with Dragons, so I'm curious to see what the show can do with it. I'd love to see some zombie sharks, some zombie krakens, whatever you got. Besides that, we have some Stannis at the wall, and what looks like another funeral. Maybe for a major character? The question is which one, since this is Game of Thrones after all. I won't try to spoil that for anyone, but it's always good to see more Stannis. Next up, a couple scenes to wrap things up. We have a young girl here. I'm not sure if this is a young Cersei or the recast Marcella, but it's going to be very interesting to see. My gut's going to go with Cersei and a prophecy from the books that's going to be great to watch. Next up, these guys here are called the Poor Fellows, or the Begging Brothers, or Sparrows. Basically, they're religious zealots who are there to kind of set things right in Westeros. Remember, during the War of the Five Kings, the countryside has been devastated. A lot of people have been murdered and churches disrespected, that type of thing. So people are very angry about it. They're up in arms, trying to overthrow the establishment, that type of thing. And an interesting side note about the militant arm of this religious group, they were known as Demon Slayers and Dragon Slayers, so we'll see what happens with that in the future. Last, we've got Arya at the House of Black and White. Now, for those guys of you out there who don't know, the House of Black and White is where the Faceless Men train. So Jaqen H'ghar, the guy who changed his face in Season 2, this is the temple that he trained at. And here we have Arya and Needle. Part of her training involves her casting away all of her ties to her old life to Westeros, but Needle's just a little too tough to get rid of because Jon Snow gave that to her, and who doesn't love an older brother that gives you a sword, huh? And last, we've got Dany and Marine with the Sons of the Harpy. Just like I said earlier, they're going to be a real problem for her, and here she is surrounded by them. It's going to be a tough situation to get out of, but maybe she'll have some help. We also know Dany's going to be getting married this season, because you can see her all in white in this scene in a gown. Alright, thanks for watching this breakdown, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I do apologize, I've been so slow getting videos out. Life's been pretty busy, but I'm hoping to get more content out soon. The Warg Theory should be up soon, and I should do more breakdowns like this in the future on news I hear. And hopefully more movie reviews and TV stuff coming in the future with me and my partner. So look out for that, and I'll see you guys soon. Everybody have a good one.